DY crazy.
Oh, you scared, huh? Oh, you pussy. Oh, you pussy. Oh, you scared, huh? Oh, you pussy. AD wide is like a Wayne beat. Gotta watch that side, block it up that main street. You can't beef while we in toilet, nigga, you can't eat. They kill.
Dude, fuck.
Lit, here we go.
Bro, fucking cheers, dude. Thank you for coming on, Taylor.
Yeah,
big shout out to you. You are a prime suspect that like just had
I've
to come
been
on
waiting
here.
for this.
Dude, literally, like, thank you. What, dude, fuck it, we'll just jump right into shit.
Go for it.
I've seen you fight like 3 people, and they haven't been females. Like, you fight people.
If they have it coming for them, I will.
Like, can we go into
Hash it out.
like a story that gets brought up sometimes, and not a lot of people know about it. It was shout out B-Rad, but it was at the lake house one day, and you almost got thrown off a 5-story like balcony by somebody,
and someone ended up getting hogtied to an ice chest.
That was, dude.
That person who should be left unnamed.
Yeah.
He was a very, very, very fun individual. He was actually my best friend for about a year and a half.
And he also ran you over.
With my own car. He did, and he took out a speed limit sign that was 15 miles an hour in a neighborhood.
Fuck.
Crazy, super crazy. It was a wild time in my life, but it was very fun. I wouldn't do it again, but I wouldn't take it back. But at B-Rad's, I tell you, what he had delivered was definitely well deserved.
Do you want me to like break down the story based on like what I saw, or do you want to do the first person?
Go right ahead.
So everyone's fucked up, and your homie comes and super chill from what I saw, and then the next thing you know, there's like I'm like not on the balcony. Like
We were there for 2 nights. The first night
he wasn't there 2 nights, was he?
He was.
No way.
Promise you.
No, he was there 1 night.
He was there 2 nights. Because the first night that we got there, we were going through, we were rolling up at the stoplights, like towards the lake house, and he's like, I just ate Xanax, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. That first night was totally fine because we didn't go out on the boat. We got there late at night. We woke up early in the morning and went on the boat, right?
Okay.
So that night we all just got drunk, had a great time. The boat was crazy. It was fun. And then, which I honestly thought shit was going to hit the fan the first night, but it didn't.
That was the weekend like Danny was there. Your homie.
I don't think, was Danny there?
I want to say, okay, I know for sure Cassidy was there.
Cassidy was there.
And Stone.
Cassidy and Stone was there. I talked about this with Stone recently, actually.
And it started out like on this, so you're saying on the second night, you were literally chilling on a balcony, and then you got
this whole for him was an escape to get out of town because him and his lady weren't getting along, and he called me, he's like, hey, I need a friend, and I was like, I got you, I'm heading out of town right now to meet up with a bunch of homies, there's no service, we're gonna have a great time, we're gonna kick it, whatever. Well, he got a hold of his lady, he found service, and his lady doesn't like me because of how close of like a friendship that we had before. There's like a little bit of an intimidation factor, I believe, and he kind of like lost his marbles after talking to her.
That's a bad idea to make that phone call. Like
that's
right
what I
then and
said.
there.
I mean, that's how all that drama started, because he was on the balcony and he's like, hey, I'm gonna call her, and I said, that's not a good idea. The whole reason we're here is to avoid that. You know what I mean? We're here to have a good time. We're not here to, you need some mind space. You just need a good time with good people, and that's what we're here for. And he's like, fuck you. I'm gonna call my girlfriend if I want to. And I said, okay, do it. Do whatever you want to do. And then they started hashing it out on the phone, and I went up and I was like, hey, hang up the phone. You're getting upset, you're getting heated, hang up the phone. And he shoves me. He's like, get the fuck off of me. I'm gonna talk to my woman if I want to. And I said, okay.
You didn't, like, not a lot of people, and don't take this the wrong way, but like being like a female and getting like pushed, like for you it wasn't even like for you just kind of like shrugged it off.
I don't think it was kind of like an anger toward a situation, not towards me.
Yeah.
You know, if I thought he was upset with me, I probably would have reacted differently. But I think what he was going through, he was like retaliating off of that. So I didn't really take it to offense. And then as soon as I tried to like intervene and stop him from talking to someone that he shouldn't be involved with, which he still is, you know, whatever makes him happy makes him happy. But I think it's a one-way relationship. And I would love to see this person very happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I started to, I don't know, from my perspective, tried to be a good friend and say like, hey, this is not what it should be. This is not what it's meant to be. He got very upset with me. And he suplexed me over a fire pit.
And literally, like, you almost fell 5 stories.
Well, the fire pit went over first, and this was in front of Bob Dude.
Yeah.
And Bob Dude comes outside, and he's like, what is going on? And then I'm like held over a balcony,
hanging for your life,
hanging with a hand on my neck, and Bob Dude comes out and
oh shit.
He ends up throwing hands on Brad's dad, which is super fucked up because Bob Dude is like a very respected
local legend,
very local legend, and he's
older,
he's much older, and he's the chillest for letting people come up to the lake house, have a good time. He has no questions asked about who comes up there. He's like, you know, if it's your friend and you're comfortable with them, let him come. Of course, everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
You know, and he did not treat the host very nicely or myself. And then once everybody saw what was happening to me, thankfully I have amazing friends like you and Stone and everybody else put hands on deck, and they handled that situation.
And the thing, it wasn't just like that one thing on the balcony. It turned into multiple.
It escalated.
There was like 4 or 5 fights.
It like tumbled
for hours.
From like the upstairs living room to downstairs, which the stairs are like 2 levels like this. It goes down this way and then down this way to the front door. Tumbled down the stairs to the hallway, and we were tumbling in the hallway. There was a flashlight involved. Someone got beat with a flashlight. And eventually we tumbled all the way down the hallway, down the L, into
a room,
Brad's bedroom, into Brad's room downstairs, and then evidently dragged him outside and hog-tied him to a ice chest and left him out there for about 45 minutes until I felt sorry for him, and I was like, okay, are we done? Like, can we untie you now?
But the thing, like, that whole thing of going from upstairs to downstairs, that took literally 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Like, that wasn't a 5-minute fight. It was literally 2 hours.
This individual took on about 7 people.
All guys.
All
me
dudes.
being one of them.
All dudes.
That was, like, the thing is, like...
He had
He had the Xanax
crazy
strength.
power.
He had Xanax strength mixed with, like, just fucking thickness. You know what I mean? And then I remember you, like half the people would dip and be like, oh, like, we got it, like, handled. And then I remember I would, like, walk by and I would hear someone getting punched. I was, like, hysterical
the whole time. I was like, stop, no, he's not a bad person. He just makes bad decisions. I felt really bad for him because of, I don't know, dude. That was just a really shitty situation for me and especially for him.
I remember being downstairs and like walking past a room to someone getting punched, or like there was people like grappling, and it was him and RJ, and they both had each other like a headlock.
Oh my god, RJ was there. RJ and Sid were there.
That was a crazy fucking weekend. But then I was helping like RJ, and then we couldn't handle the perpetrator. And
alone.
No, we needed. So I'm calling for help, and then like. All the dudes show up, and then we still can't like manage to get him out front. And then I just remember one memory I have of you is you grabbing him by like the fucking like back of the pants like belt loop and literally dragging him. Like nobody could do it but you, except like you just dragged him throughout the hallway.
Man strength like, from the end of the hall all the way outside.
That was some funny shit.
That was pretty crazy. Okay, Liz.
Were you gonna ask me a question?
No, I was like, that was a crazy time. I was like, do you have another fight that you were gonna mention? Because you said plural, and I was like, what's next? Because I think that was the worst. We got over the worst first.
No, just that one. Just that one. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dude, fuck, bro. Tell them who you are, where you're from, where you're born.
Okay, I'm Taylor. I was born in San Luis Obispo. I grew up in the Central Valley in Fresno. Graduated high school in the foothills of Yosemite in Sonora. As soon as I finished high school there, I moved to SLO to go to Cuesta, and I actually met this guy and our whole group of friends from Tinder.
Orion, shout out Orion.
Shout out Orion. Met Orion on Tinder, and he invited me into this entire really cool family, and we've been homies ever since.
What made you want to go from Sonoma to
Sonora?
SLO? Oh, Sonora.
Sonora.
Wait, where's Sonoma compared to Sonora?
Sonoma is, I think Sonoma's a little bit more valley and further south. So
Okay.
Sonora is more Yosemite. It's like the foothills of Yosemite. Like 45 minutes from Modesto. But I finished high school up there. Small towns are just not my thing. Mountains are cool. There's a lot to do up there, really fun. But in that small town, which is very beautiful, the people just suck.
Really?
The people really suck. They just, like, if you're born in that small town, they'll never leave. So it's like it's a really trippy environment to be in. A lot of small town drama. Everybody either loves each other or hates each other. Best friends cycle month to month. You know, it's a really weird dynamic up there. So moving down here was like a breath of fresh air. I knew I wasn't going to be there for very long. I was like, I'm here for high school. I don't care about any of you guys. And I definitely acted upon that. I really didn't give a shit about anybody up there.
Is Danny your homie from there?
Danny is actually my homie from Fresno. We became best friends freshman of high school. So I moved up to Sonora halfway through sophomore year. And
Okay.
that girl has been my ride or die since the day I met her.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
And then you also know Humphrey. He's from your place.
Humphrey's from Sonora. Humphrey's, so when I was in high school in Sonora, I lived across the street from this kid, Colton McMullen. He's like my little brother. He's like my little older brother.
Yeah.
My mom's family absolutely loves him. I call him Baby Colton. And his buddy from wrestling was Humphrey. So I met Humphrey through him.
Yeah.
And he and I connected too, just became really tight friends. And Humphrey ended up following me, not intentionally, but ended up coming down to SLO to go to Cuesta for wrestling also. And now Humphrey lives right across the street from me too. It's crazy how it works. Yeah, he still lives across the street from me.
What made you want to come to SLO from your hometown? Did you hear about this place, or have you visited prior?
So growing up, when I lived in the Central Valley, I was born in San Luis, but
You were born here?
I was.
Shut the fuck up.
Crazy, right?
Really?
Yeah.
One of the hospitals here.
I can't remember what Sierra Vista, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I was born at Sierra Vista.
And she just got a job there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually
Natty.
gonna we gotta get you guys in here a little bit.
Natty and Mitchell. Hey.
Nat and Mitchell.
So I moved to Fresno when I was at his family house. So I moved with him, and my mom stayed on the Central Coast. So she lived down here until I was 13. And I would visit on the coast casually. She lived in Atascadero. So I grew up in Atascadero part-time. So I was familiar with the area. She moved up to Sonora when I was 13, and I ended up moving with her a little bit later. I knew I wanted to come back here for college though, so that's how I ended up here.
Dan, when you first moved back here from college, didn't you live in Atascadero?
I did. That was actually the first place I lived in. Was I lived with my mom's girlfriend, like long-term girlfriend, someone that she had been friends with throughout my whole childhood, and I grew up with her name was LeVay. So my mom's girlfriend LeVay, it had 2 sons. And when I was like, I want to go to college down there, she called LeVay and was like, hey, is it okay if Taylor moves in for a little while, gets her feet on the ground until she wants to do her own thing? It was like my foot in the door. So my rent there was super cheap. It was a beautiful house. I got kicked out of there in 1 week because she found a bong in my closet.
Shut up. She went through your closet?
Yeah, dude. She's a second grade teacher, and she hates her life.
Really?
The walls in her house, she has a beautiful house. They're completely white. No pictures, nothing. Crazy, right?
That's kind of weird.
Super weird. I went to dinner with her a couple times. No radio, no music, nothing. Like very, very vanilla family. So
Do you want to be saying all this on here? You don't give a fuck.
Not really.
Have you talked to her since?
No, my mom hasn't talked to her either. She's like, you're gonna kick my daughter out because she smokes pot.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
I mean, so here's the thing. She's
How'd
like
that
I
conversation go down?
So, and I was very respectful. I knew that she wasn't about it, so I would take my bong, go in my car, and I would find a spot like to go smoke off the property by myself, do my thing, and then come home, like dump my water out, whatever, and I would just keep it in the closet. No water in it, nothing. I left town to go see my mom for the weekend, and I came back. And I got home at some ungodly hour at like 2:30 because I drive at night. I don't know. I feel like it's safer, less cars on the road. I'm a night owl.
Quicker too.
Whatever. Yeah. So I got home and I had work the next day at like 9:30. I worked at Naked Fish when it was open and slow. That was my first job in San Luis Obispo. Was the Naked Fish downtown. So I drove all the way from Atascadero to the Naked Fish, and she knocks on my door at like 6:30. And I was like, hey, I want to go to sleep. I have work in a couple hours. And she's like, no, we need to have this conversation right now. So I get up and I go in there. She's like, I'm kicking you out of my house. And I was like, oh, wait, what? She's like, yeah, I found a bong. I said, there's like, I have a zero tolerance for that. You can't be here. Like, I don't want that around my sons. One of them is 25 and the other one I think is 6 months younger than me.
You were living with both of them?
Yeah, at the time. One of them just left for school on the East Coast, and the other one just joined the Army within the last year. So, like, but this was, again, like 3.5 years ago. So she was like, you can't be here. I'm done. I said, okay, well, fuck. So roommate at a coworker at the Naked Fish was like, hey, I'm subleasing. And I was like, all right, cool. So I jumped on that really quick. And I subleased for a little bit, and I subleased for the following like year and a half and bounced around because I refuse to sign a lease if I don't trust the people I live with. I don't want a contract living with strangers, you know?
Yeah.
So I just continued the sublease until I found somewhere cool. And the place that I live in now, I've been in for about 2 years, and it's been awesome.
Dude, time goes fucking by quick.
It's crazy,
dude.
right?
I cannot believe you've lived in that house for that long. Has it really been that long?
I moved in December of 2018.
So we had the shelter when you got that house?
Yes.
Really?
Sure did.
Damn.
I lived down the street from you.
That's right.
Right? Okay.
Dude, that was dude, you used to be like 2 minutes away. That was
very
crazy,
close.
bro.
I was at your house a lot.
Dude, that was a different time period than what we live in right now. Completely different time period.
Very much so.
Have you noticed everybody's like on this crazy like grind schedule, like school, like wifed up, getting married, like dude, I know like 4 or 5
Dude,
people.
okay, I can't. Well, I am not quite a part of that because COVID's done a little bit of a different thing for me, but I've noticed it for other people. A lot of girls from my high school, like in my age or even younger, have had kids or gotten engaged or even gotten married, and it's the craziest fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. Crazy shit.
Crazy. Like
Crazy
I don't know, like what's the rush?
Yeah, no, true.
You know what I mean?
True.
For me, COVID was more like since this happened and since I wasn't working, I did a lot more traveling safely.
Are you working right now?
I just got laid off today.
Shut the front. At the country club?
Yeah, again.
Do you like the country club?
I love it. I've been there for about 2 years now.
You have not been there for 2 years.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. Time flies, right?
Dude, no. You were at... Dude, I feel like I could name like 3 places. How many jobs have you had on the Central Coast?
Too many.
Can you name every job that you've had?
Okay, shit. Okay, let's start with Naked Fish, vegetable butcher, when that was open very briefly. It was across the street from 7-Eleven. I worked at, what was the place that was before the burgers? Kind of across from the Mark and down from McClintock's.
You know,
like Burger Village.
Person.
It was called Natural Cafe. I worked at Natural Cafe until they closed, and they gave me a call the day before, and they're like, hey, don't bother coming to work because we're shut down. And I was like...
For COVID?
No, just because it went out of business.
Damn.
So I worked there. I worked at Creaky Tiki
Okay, you
I
were
worked at-
chilling at that place, right? You worked with fucking Nick. He was my lab partner in marine biology.
I did work with
fucked with that
Nick.
guy. He has dude, I need to get him on the podcast.
Like half of the staff there's hella chill, and the other half are very cliquey and not so friendly. And that's like, I think more of the ladies are not very friendly or welcoming. They're very territorial.
Dude, we went in, okay, it was Keelan Harris's birthday. This is like...
I saw you on, wait, it was your birthday. Oh, I also worked at Branzino. Remember I was standing outside and you guys both buzzed your head?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that
was
place.
Another important, yes.
That was 2019, a year and a half ago.
That's crazy.
Year and 8 months ago, bro. We're already done with fucking 2020.
I remember you're like, shh, don't tell anyone.
And speaking
like,
of
okay.
shh, they gave you hush money.
Branzino?
Branzino
gave me hush money.
How did that go down?
I hushed up. I mean, that's not entirely true since like they were closed for a little while and they didn't want anyone to spill the beans. I was paid under the table for a while because I couldn't pay bills. The guy that opened it, I'm also not going to mention the name because that might be inappropriate.
Yeah.
But like this guy that opened this restaurant was kicked out of Santa Barbara because he did the same kind of thing there. He opened a restaurant, he got money from investors and said like, hey, this is what I'm gonna open, this is what I'm gonna do, and ended up embezzling the money and opening something else. He did the same thing in San Luis Obispo. He was supposed to open a bowling alley on the corner across from Black Sheep and Eureka.
Lit.
So that building that's been empty for so long was supposed to be a bowling alley downstairs and like some sort of thing upstairs. There were going to be like townhomes or apartments. So we got all these investors to do this, and he opened up a restaurant right next door to it. And then they found out what was going on, and they're like, well, what the fuck? And so that restaurant only stayed open for about 6 months and closed.
Dude, I feel like he had this lifelong dream to like open a restaurant and like was finding ways around it.
Definitely told people that. I think he just wanted the money.
Dude, it's funny because you have this tendency to be like you get like sucked into the.
I get involved with these crazy things that I don't even plan to, you know?
I feel like it's like it just has to happen because it's you. You know what I mean? Like you literally, dude, you've worked at so many jobs at the weirdest places that like are open for 2 weeks, and you just happen to drop off a resume, and the next thing you know, you're either like fired or fucking like it's shut down or like they can't afford to pay bills. Like, dude, you've worked at literally a dozen places.
I just
and that's not a bad thing. That's just you
it's a life thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You worked at Giuseppe's.
I did work at Giuseppe's.
Dude, okay, you know who's been going there a lot is fucking Evan and Sage.
I haven't met Sage.
If they come back tonight, you should meet her tonight.
For sure.
Yeah.
I did work at Giuseppe's, and my closing act with Giuseppe's actually involved Natalia. We had a nice little bender in Cayucas. I showed up to work absolutely shit-faced, and then I got fired. Well, no. Actually, he goes, you're in no condition to be at work. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yes. I said, okay, I'll go home. And then I went to Vegas for a week and a half. It was already planned. It like fell out that way.
We have to talk about Vegas. I forgot about Vegas.
I came back from Vegas. I'm still sipping.
Oh, you're sipping?
I'm still
Okay,
sipping.
sure.
I came back from Vegas and I showed up and he's like, here's your last check. And I was like, all right. Cool.
Dude.
I worked at Hoagie's in Pismo.
Dude, and they're in SLO now.
Yeah, they just opened up a new location kind of by that Mexican restaurant by 7-Eleven. What's that road?
Is it downtown SLO?
It is, but it's like at the end of downtown.
By like High Street and
shit?
Santa Cruz?
What is it? Gosh, what is it? What's the street that Giuseppe's is on? Like the corner, it's Choro and what?
Like Monterey?
More.
I don't know.
Something, but like, you know, the corner street that Giuseppe's is on, you take that street and go all the way down.
There's like a park next to it, or like that center location.
Yeah, that center location where the oh my.
There's like always events there.
Words are hard. Anyways, they opened a new location down there. It should be pretty cool.
How was working at Giuseppe's?
Giuseppe's was okay. It was very fast paced and high demand, but I really liked it. Paycheck was cool. They just don't really promote within, which is unfortunate. And I didn't have a problem leaving because they were like, I applied for a certain position and they hired me lower because they're like, hey, this is what we need. And I was like, that's fine as long as I get promoted after a little while. Got it. They didn't do that. They ended up hiring people from outside. So
well, you weren't there that long, right?
I was there for 6 months. Yeah. About 6 months. And in that time, they hired other people to take the position that I applied for.
What position you applied for?
Well, you can't apply there as a server because they have servers there that have been there for 3 years, that have been there for 12 years, that have been there for longer. So it's like you have to promote within.
Okay.
And so when they ended up hiring bussers make great money there. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
And that's what I applied for, was a bussing position because it was practical. And they hired me as a host, and I was like, I've never been a host. I don't want to be a fucking host. Like, I have a better resume than just to be a host, you know?
Yeah.
And they ended up hiring 2 people to be bussers, and I was like, all right, well, I'm not really, I wasn't really upset about it when I left.
Because they're probably making, like, minimum wait, like, what? How long were the shifts? Like 5 hours, 6 hours, more?
They were minimum 6 hours.
Oh, so they were longer.
6 to 9 hours because the cleanup and all that stuff, like the turnover, like the turnover there is not a lot. That's why each table, your sales at each table is a lot more versus you working at a breakfast restaurant. You're working for turnover. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the money is in your tables. You invest in your tables. You invest in the bottles you sell. You invest in the booze you sell. The food is expensive there, you know? So, like, you're not working to run it.
How much do the, do you guys sell, like, gnarly fucking bottles?
At Giuseppe's?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, are there $2,000 bottles?
That's where people that make money eat there.
Dang,
For
bro.
sure.
Damn.
Which is why the country club's been very nice to me.
Dude, yeah, okay, how was the country club?
Amazing. You
were a server?
Yeah, I serve and bartend there. I've been bartending there for the last 8 months, and I've been serving there since I started.
You were bartending
I get to whip the bar cart sometimes, which is very fun.
What's that like? Oh, on the golf course?
Yeah.
Dude, wait, so you'd go up to people?
Well, I get on my little bar cart, and I have, like, the little shot booze, and I just pour, like, drinks out on the course, or, like, working tournaments is hella fun. I mean, every time I pour drinks, I get handed a 10, a 20, this or that, you know? And if I, like, the members that I know since I've been there for so long will give me a little bit more love. Just got a Christmas bonus yesterday, and I have more to look forward to.
I literally just saw you go like this.
That place, well, I mean, the people that are part of the country club are very well respected individuals here. They're successful.
I feel like you would find Bob at the country club.
Bob would be part of a country club. He is. He lives on a golf resort in Rio Grande. I just don't know the name of it.
He's not at me.
If you live in that HOA, like that homeowners association, I'm pretty sure you're part of it.
Where's the country club, in SLO or AG?
I'm part of the SLO Country Club. He's part of the one in Rio Grande.
Is it one business?
They're separate businesses.
Oh, okay.
They're separate clubs, but Bob is definitely part of one. He's just not part of the SLO Country Club.
Okay. Dude, okay, so what was that like working, like, country club, driving around in golf carts, just giving people a drink? Like,
I never want to leave.
Why'd they lay you off?
Because of COVID. Like, we're not, like, all of SLO County's not allowed to do outdoor dining now.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
So you're saying no, people aren't coming to golf anymore, pretty much.
No, they're not COVID, bar carts are not COVID friendly because they're still hands-on drinks pouring and that kind of stuff. So so they're just doing takeout right now, and I honestly would, I hate to say it, rather collect unemployment than just deliver takeout 3 times a week. Yeah. Because I'd make more money doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, it was probably fucking gnarly working there summer 2019. Cause I remember for sure you were there last summer when I was here.
I made I made great money during that summer.
Damn, bro.
And that's why, like, I've been holding on to it, hoping it comes back. I mean, we got to do outdoor dining, then indoor dining, 50%, then back outdoor, and now we're closed again. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Or is
We're
the
back at
food
square
there?
one.
If you're not a member,
the food there's no. You have to be a member to eat there, or eat with a member. So like you have to. If I invited you to eat there, you could eat there because.
Are you a member?
Technically, since I work there.
What?
I get 60% off all my food.
No, you don't.
I do.
Are
and
you
it's
serious?
bomb food. Chef Ed is amazing.
What type of food do you guys have there?
Everything. You ask.
Really?
I mean, there's like a menu, but it hits almost all the bases. You know, there's an assortment, but if you say, hey, this is what I'm hungry for, he'll probably handle it. It's good shit.
Okay, for sure. A lot of like elderly people or young guns? There's some young
there are some young we have some golf pros that are like in their early 20s. They're very well off, but most of our members are like, I'm gonna say like 30 plus, and then their kids are a part of it and they kind of get grandfathered into it, you know.
How much does it cost to be a member?
Depends on your membership, because it starts at like fitness and then tennis and then golf, and there's like different layers that you can. The most basic one is just a club member. That means you can eat there and you can like you can shop at the golf pro shop and eat in the clubhouse, and then you work up from there. You have to pay more for a membership.
What's the most expensive membership?
I don't know the price, but it's a golf membership. So you can use the
They
course.
would put golf at the
That's
bridge.
the tippy top.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you pay this big ass price and you can go there whenever the fuck you want and golf however many times you want.
Exactly.
Dude, it's probably like hundreds of dollars.
It's pretty expensive. And you have a quota each month. You have to spend a certain amount of money in the pro shop or like on food to be a member. Yeah,
really?
there's a quota that you have to meet, and when I log people in, I can see how much money left that they have to spend.
So you're kind of like pressing them to fucking spend a little bit.
The more I sell, the more I make.
Damn, dude. That's a good business idea.
It's super chill. And
I mean, if you have money and you're not just there to fucking flex, and you have money and it's just like money's not an issue, dude, that's a great business idea. Like, you have to spend this amount of money like per month.
Well, I mean, there's perks too. So we have cigar dinners for the gentlemen. We have dinners for the women.
What?
Yeah, no, we host weddings. We host banquets or like nonprofit organizations. There's like, we have events where we cut cakes and like they'll sell cakes for $2,500, like auctions. They're like Madonna cakes, and we'll bring them in and be like, okay, this cake for this much, and these tables will all bid on these cakes and they'll sell for $2,500 to $4,000.
You've seen this happen before?
Absolutely.
So they're fucking rich.
I mean, it's not just the members, like other organizations will come and put on these events. You know what I mean? And they'll rent some of our rooms to put this on, but it's pretty crazy what they have going on out there.
You need some more in here, John.
Yeah, pour me up.
Feel kind of bad. I'm like auctioning you guys' wine away.
No, drink it. I brought it for that reason.
You've only worked in food industry, like restaurant style shit.
I tried. What is it? What is clothes?
Retail.
Retail. I tried retail. Not my thing. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Selling clothes is. I mean, I love clothes for myself, but the whole. I don't know. It's easier to make money when I'm selling booze or food. I don't know. I can talk things up easier. Selling a shirt, not my thing.
Yeah. No, for
and
real.
it's like working with restaurants is just more compatible with like a college life, you know, because I work 4 to 6 hours or maybe a little bit more, and I have the rest of the day for studying or this or that. It just worked well with coming down here for school, you know.
Yeah. Dude, okay, we actually have to talk about Vegas right now.
Okay.
Did you go to Vegas on a regular basis?
So there was like a year and a half where I went like 6 times. I went like every couple months. I would just go there by myself. By my
Dude, you were about that sugar daddy lifestyle
for a little while.
That treated you well.
It did. It was minimal effort and most profit. I did it for the lifestyle mostly. It was like for the experience. So like the first time I went to Vegas was with a very good friend that we spoke about earlier. I can't mention any names.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting this really fucking cool dude. I walked up. We were in the Sophia's strip club, and I was shit-faced. It was my first time in Vegas, and I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, can I hit your hookah? Because it was like a hookah lounge too, and he's like, yeah, it's double apple. I'm like, great, I love apple. I hit it and it tastes like black licorice. Well, this is what traditional God, I'm drawing a blank here. I can't even think of their ethnicity right now. Hang on.
Arabian?
Yes, that's the one. That's their traditional hookah to smoke, and it tastes like black licorice. And I was like, this tastes like shit.
Oh, shit.
Well, he ended up coming and joining our table, had a great time. So-and-so who I came with ended up pissing all over our private booth, so we got kicked out.
Wait, they whipped out their dick?
Yeah, and he peed
table?
on my jacket, and he had to buy me a jacket the next day. Not the one who was smoking their hookah.
Yeah.
The one who I came with.
What did the restaurant do?
Kicked us out.
They pissed?
They were very upset. But I made connections with this guy, and I ended up, he was like, hey, come to Vegas whenever you want. This guy's an Arabic prince. Ended up meeting an Arabic prince. He's like, hey, you can come whenever the fuck you want. And I was like, all right, cool. Ended up hitting him up like maybe 3 months later. He'd get me a room at the Red Rock. I had my own private room to myself with a bitchin' fucking view. It was incredible. And so like we'd go out, he'd take me to places, we'd party, we'd have a great time. He was completely sober. All he did was smoke hookah. Like he'd been sober for like 6 years. So he was like, hey, let me show you around, we'll have a good time. He'd leave me at my room, go home, come pick me up the next day, and we'd go out again. And I did this a couple of times.
Dude, that sounds
so
great,
I wasn't in it for like, I don't know, the stereotype behind the whole sugar daddy thing is different than what I did it for. And I actually ended up meeting friends that just treated me really well. You know what I mean?
Dude, I feel like
the guy's like 32 and just has been inheriting this amazing money and was like, I want to show people a good time, and that's kind of what happened.
Why do you think sugar daddy has such a negative connotation? Like, I think it's
because young girls fuck old men, and that's not a good thing to think about, you know? Like, why not fuck someone your own age?
So you're saying that has to do with the money, the age, the lust for the money,
you know, the
sex.
I think the money for the sex exchange is the bad thing. I think like making connections with older people, like I have friends that are amazing friends that are 20 years older than me, just because they're really fucking cool people and great to be around, great conversationalists. I learned a lot from them, and I'm sure many other people have friends like that, but I think the whole sex exchange thing is shamed upon, and I'm not a big fan of it myself.
Because you weren't fucking.
No.
Okay. You literally just
I drew the line. Well, it's like I was capable of maintaining like a friendship, and a lot of people don't know how to work the friendship thing versus like I feel like I have to sleep with this person for money. You know what I mean? You have to have a good personality type to be able to become like a cool person and just maintain a friendship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Dude, you know who would be interesting to have on here? Do you still talk to was it Isabel or Isabella? Isabel. She's about the sugar daddy game. She was dating the sugar daddy.
Isabel was.
She showed you the sugar daddy, bro.
Introduced me to this.
What?
So I met Isabel in SLO. She moved to Maryland on the East Coast for about 1.5 years. We maintained a tight-knit relationship the whole time. We talked every day. We're so connected. She moved to San Diego. And the first time that we ended up hanging out, we met halfway in LA. And we hung out with these people that she'd met, like these dudes. She's like, they're great, this and that. And I was like, okay. So I came, we had a fabulous fucking time. But we had a great time down there. It was super fun. And what's crazy, I ended up maintaining contact with these guys, met those guys in Vegas, had a great time with them. And like a casual thing, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can keep a casual thing going, and I don't know. Maybe she just want to get laid. That's fine too. I don't know.
Dude, yeah. Money is such like a big part of our culture that it's
Crazy.
not like it seems like both parties are kind of winning. You know what I mean?
It is a win-win.
Like it
is a
sounds
win-win.
fucked up because it's like the premise is money and sex, but at the end of the day, it's almost like
As long as it's like compatible and both. I mean, if you like kicking it with a person, you actually like being around the person. It is a fair exchange.
Like, and the thing is, like, pick some of the like most fucking like honest, nice, great people you know. Like, what are they doing at the end of the day? They're fucking and they're making money every day. Like, that's their driving factor.
Absolutely.
You know? I don't think the sugar daddy thing is a negative connotative like thing to look at and be like ashamed of, or like the people that point fingers and they're like, oh my god, you bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you've been to Vegas.
It's like I like to fuck and I also like money, so
you've been balling out in Vegas and you brought, you didn't bring me to Vegas, but
I brought Isabel
to Vegas.
I brought Isabel to Vegas for her first time. With the person that I met first in Vegas, like this cool ass motherfucker. So like I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring a girlfriend. He's like, fuck yeah, amazing. Brought her with. That situation ended up getting a little weird, but you guys ended up having, you and Alexander were in Vegas the same time, happened to be there, and that was magical.
Weird. Do you remember?
It was so fun,
dude. Alex hit me up. I wasn't even 21, which was the funny thing.
Right.
This was 2019 shelter.
My homie was like, yeah, we'll get you into this pool. We'll just put drinks. Like, you guys can buy drinks all day. It was totally fine. He literally got us in there and left us. Was like, have fun.
Dude, yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That was a very fun weekend.
Absolutely.
Very fucking fun.
We had a great weekend.
Why was that so fun?
Because it was not planned.
Is that really why it was?
I think because like it was unexpected and we all ended up you went there for your own reason and Isabel and I went for our own reasons and we were just like, what's up? And we had a great time.
How did we find out that like each other were in Vegas? Like it wasn't, I feel like we didn't know we were in Vegas until we were in Vegas.
I think it was like a Snapchat thing. Like we saw someone's story or this and that and I was like, yo, what the fuck? We're both here. Let's link. And we did. That's the best idea that I have.
Cause that turned into like that's literally like, I feel like that's a top 10 weekend that I've like experienced.
By far.
Where we're just literally waking up, taking shots and fucking just like, dude, we were Ubering, being chauffeured around, like, fucking, cause Alex had his own,
You had your own hotel and Iz and I had our own hotel. No, I think we were staying with my girlfriend. I ended up meeting a girl named Natalia. We went to Natalia's house.
Her name was Natalia too?
Yeah, but it was spelled with a Y. She has a kid now too, which is crazy. Went like back on the kid thing. Yeah, she's got like a whole baby. Cute little thing too. I think she lives in Canada now. But we went to her house. Ew. Oh, you're quiet.
She was chill. She was like your guys' like Airbnb person.
Yeah, she had her own apartment, which apartments are really cheap in Las Vegas, and she lived in like a mediocre-ish. She lived in like, I think it was honestly called like Chinatown of Las Vegas. And so the rent was a lot cheaper. It wasn't like a bad area or anything, but she paid like $800 for a 2-bedroom apartment, and she would just Airbnb her other room, and that paid her rent.
I wonder how she screamed.
So she just let.
I wonder how she screened people.
Oh, they said screamed.
I
wonder how she screamed.
I think I said screened, but I meant screened.
Not sure, but I met her through a cool friend down there, and she was just like, yeah, you're welcome to take the room for a weekend if you want. No, don't even worry about it. And I was like, Amazing.
Dude.
So I ended up staying there a couple times too. I didn't have to stay in hotels.
That was sometime last year, 2019.
Was it really?
It was before I turned 21. So it was literally like March or February, like spring, like end of winter, like early spring.
Yeah.
Alex and I stayed. We were there. I don't know how Alex got me to go, but
Why what was your reason to go?
I definitely, because I was at Cuesta, so I wasn't working like 5 days a week or anything. So I think
like,
I got out of
this
school.
Sounds fun.
I think, yeah, I got out of school and had like 2 or 3 days off. And I was like, okay, Alex, like as long as I'm home Sunday night for my Sunday shift.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, dude, like let's go. And then we ended up staying at like our homie Sean's, one of his plugs in Vegas.
I remember that house.
It was like
It was a big house too.
Like 5 bedrooms or something.
Huge.
In like a gated community. Did you guys come
Yes,
in?
you were like way the fuck out there too, like on the
Yeah,
outskirts.
yeah.
It was a bitchin' house. Sean was never there though. Cause I remember meeting Sean. I'd met Sean before, but I went into his house and I was like, "This is a crazy house. This is not what I expected out of this guy."
It wasn't Sean's house. It was Sean's homie's house, who was like a gay ex-porn star. So he had like all this money and bought a house. In
I think
Vegas,
I remember
guess.
running around with a unicorn in that house.
Did you guys come in?
Yes,
You guys did come
they
in.
had like a big fluffy unicorn.
Yeah. Okay. The backyard was lit too. There was like fucking.
Yeah. That place was pretty cool.
Do you think you could ever live in Vegas? Vegas?
No, it would no. Nope.
How do people do it, you think?
I've had job offers there
For what?
to be like cocktail waitresses, and they make more than strippers do, and they don't have to take their clothes off, which is really cool. But like I've had job offers at cool places just because I've made cool connections there, but I feel like if I moved there, it would just absolutely ruin me. Like I don't have a lot of self-control as a human being.
You think you'd be doing drugs, drinking every night, partying every night? Really?
That place just would not. It would be the death of me if I moved there.
Dude, there's probably like a lot of sober people living there that wake up
I
every
would not be
morning.
one of them.
Dude, there's underground tunnels in Vegas. With
What?
Like, yeah.
For what?
For people.
For like sex trafficking or like
Well, probably
drugs
that
or
too,
what?
but-
Like
There's like underground tunnels. There's tunnels underground
Under
in
the
Vegas.
city.
Under the city. There's homeless people that live in them.
oh yep, not a fan. I don't want to be a part of it.
Dude,
I'd
I
be
feel like-
scared if I walked in one of those underground tunnels.
I feel like if your life was a little different, you'd be living down there.
Please, sir. Oh, you know, like if I ever hit like the rock bottom of rock bottoms, I hope I would not be in a tunnel underground Las Vegas.
Dude, it's probably fucking steaming hot in there.
Gross. Probably
Literally
smells like
steaming
dog
hot.
shit. 24/7.
Bro, dude, that shit does not get cleaned. Are you kidding me? No,
Oh.
bro, there's fucking... Dude, there's every type of human, like, fluid.
Oh, stop, Blazer. Oh.
Have you been smoking marijuana? Because I remember you were a
A
stoner.
little bit. I used to be a huge stoner.
You used to smoke every day.
Yeah, when I first moved down here, I was a big stoner, and I just kind of like I was hanging out with like a lot of like my very close friends would smoke a lot of pot, and it was just a thing that we would all do every day. And as soon as I was more like independent and kind of gravitated toward different social cliques and social environments, I just kind of fell out of the smoking every day, and I do it casually now. I'll do it before I go to bed. I'll do it if I'm by myself at home and I want to clean all day. I'll get a hill of baked. But other than that, not a big pothead anymore.
Are you good at cleaning a house stoned versus sober?
Very much so.
Why? You just get so in it.
I just get so stoned and I get hyper focused on what I'm doing, and I'm just like, this is clean. Okay, wait, this is dirty. Not time to clean this. I don't know. I just get in this groove and I cleaned my house top to bottom in like 2 hours today.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Today?
I was babysitting for like my friends. They're married. They married very young and they had a baby super young. And they're like, hey, we're going to Costco can you watch her for like an hour and a half, 2 hours? And I was like, yeah, sure. So she came over to my house. I just deep cleaned my entire house while she was there. They picked her up, and then we continued our day.
Dang. Okay. Was it like a small baby or?
She was, I think she's like 2.5. Cute little thing.
You guys like played with it and like ran it around.
She was super independent. She's just like going up and down the stairs by herself a lot.
Crawling?
That was a bit. She walked. She crawled up the stairs though.
Was she like, Mama?
No, she doesn't talk. She doesn't talk a lot, but she's super independent. You'll go and like try to hang out with her, and she's like, she goes the other way.
Dude,
which is fine.
Your homies are their roommates, yeah?
Yeah, actually, we were super tight-knit for... I've lived with Allie for the entire time I've been there. She was there before I was. We became super close when we had a roommate, Janine, and then she moved to Texas. And Janine was kind of like the mom of the house. She was just like... Stay at home, drink wine after she got off work, and went to bed at like 8:30 with her dog and her cat, and was just like super satisfied with her routine, which was fine. And Allie and I were over here just doing our own thing, trickling in at like 3:30 and 4 in the morning, having fun, whatever. And then as soon as Janine moved to Texas, Allie's sister moved from San Clemente down by San Diego into the master bedroom. So now I live with sisters, and we all got rowdy for a little while. And I kind of like chilled out and was like, maybe this isn't good to do every day.
You guys were doing it every day?
Yeah. It was like a 4 days a week thing, if not more.
Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then
it was like an every other day, like
really?
Weekdays. I don't know. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun together. But I was like, "King, time to tone it down a little bit," and we did, or I did. I can't speak for everyone, but since I started living part-time in Tracy, I've kind of like fallen off their radar. You know, we've kind of not intentionally, but we've kind of just like separated, you know what I mean? And they also both opened their own business with their family in Los Osos, which is pretty cool. It's a tap room. I'll think of their name in a minute. God, what is it?
An Osos, you said?
It is an Osos.
I could just see Evan in the corner right now, just naming names, like throwing up his fingers. Have you seen him throw?
It's called the Old Ale House.
The Old Ale House.
The Old Ale House.
And
it's really cool. They have like outside fire pits, their inside bar. They have a bunch of taps. They have a bunch of beers on draft. Very cool, really cool food. Unfortunately, they just closed yesterday because of COVID as well.
Fuck.
I know. Well, all businesses have to shut down now, which sucks because they were a new business. You know what I mean?
You can do to go.
They're probably doing to go,
okay.
But like that's not gonna. It's hard to keep business floating when you're just doing to go.
I like forget because my entire restaurant is like pretty much only to go, but it's like really busy to go style shit. You know what I mean? Like it always has been before COVID too. It was very gnarly to go. You know?
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
For sure.
Totally.
Dude, speaking of falling off the radar, you've fallen off the radar.
A lot.
Dude, actually. Taylor, there's a lot of people, including myself, that like really fucking miss you.
Oh,
like I'm not even no, dude, I'm not even saying that to like flex or like whatever you want to call it, but like
I feel like
there's not a lot, but like every time there's been like people meeting up or some shit, they've been like, dude, like where's Taylor?
Oh, I just haven't been around, and I miss being around.
Dude, you're gone like a lot.
I'm gone most of the week. I come back just to go to work, and then
you're like working and like going to bed early and like and
then I leave town again. I've been filling my time with really cool activities.
No. It's. I mean, you're like you have a good alternative to be doing.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. It's just you're not how I remember you before I moved to Oregon.
Taylor's made a lot of changes in the last year.
Dude, you were
I've blossomed into
bro. You were dude.
I was a night owl for sure.
Your nights didn't start until like 11:30.
Yep. Yep. We've turned a new leaf, Lays.
For sure, dude.
Oh.
Crazy shit, huh?
Crazy shit,
Crazy
dude.
shit.
It's crazy to kind of reminisce on the cool shit that that was in our past life.
Past life, huh?
It was a past life.
Because no one's doing that anymore.
No.
Like really nobody.
No.
Would you say you miss
I miss the shelter.
You miss the shelter?
I miss the shelter.
Do you miss Bobby?
Yes. Oh, Bobby. I miss Bobby. And every time he's in town, I'm never around.
Dude, he likes you.
I like Bobby.
That's good.
I feel like we need to make sure that we connect when we're both in town.
Yeah,
Cause he lives out of town too, so it's hard to make these connections. You know what I mean?
Santa Barbara.
That's not too far.
That's not too far,
That's
and I
just over
haven't
the hill.
visited him yet. Unfortunately, I know I need to go visit
I have
him.
homies in SB too that have been like, Tay, you should come down.
Dude, if
we made like a squad trip down there and we connected
connected squads,
that
if
would
that's
be
possible. I don't know
way
if that's
cool.
possible.
It would be super cool if
I
we
literally
did
do not know
though,
if that's
because I think both of our friend group would get along super well.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Dude, have you talked to like BBZ or like Lex?
So I haven't talked to BBC in a while. I do talk to Lex. I mean, not like on a day-to-day thing, but like if I see her, you know, like looking good or glowing and being her Lex self, I'll comment and be like, you know what, you go, girl, you look amazing. As far as BBZ, I feel like when we touch base, it's like intermittent, and sometimes we'll just like happen to be free at the same time, and we'll just like go get lunch and just like reconnect at like a certain time. He's one of those friends where you don't need to talk to every day. You just like find like a free time and you pick up where you left off, you know, which is cool. But I saw him on FaceTime the other day when Jordan Snapchatted me. Jordan Reese. Is it Jordan Reese?
Yeah,
Jordan Reese.
Dude,
she
should
FaceTimed
come
me.
on here.
She so should. She should.
should.
But she FaceTimed me because it was the day, it might have been her birthday or the day before. I think it was the day before her birthday, and she called me, and BBZ was with her. It was very exciting to see them both. I miss both of them.
Are you are you bummed that you got laid off? And
Really.
are you gonna like try and pick something up again, or are you just coasting?
Okay, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do now that I'm laid off, but the last time I got 2 months laid off, I got to travel 7 different states in 2 weeks, and I got to do a lot of fishing, a lot of like cool outdoor extracurriculars that I don't usually do in SLO, because we don't have that in SLO very much. So like I took, my summer of 2020 was way different than what I planned. I wanted to go to like concerts, different events, and travel different places and have like this hype environment the whole summer. I ended up doing something way more low-key, and it was something that I probably would not have experienced if it wasn't for COVID. You know, if I was told you can't work, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to travel so much.
Because you've never really been about that, like you can be low key, but like it happening to you right now, like that's something you haven't really experienced. It seems like a low key lifestyle. I mean, from what I've seen, because you're usually really like outgoing,
I'm usually
and, like you want to mob around and like turn up and do shit. You know what I mean?
I'm usually like I like a very stimulated environment most of the time. Just because I am a very excited person and I kind of thrive off of the energy that's around me, you know what I mean? But like settling down and doing, I mean, I've always been into like outdoor and all the cool things that come with that, you know? But I got to like actually flex on it this last year, which was really cool. I got to cook pancakes and bacon next to some buffaloes, and I feel like not a lot of people have been able to do that, you know?
Like out in the wilderness or
Yellowstone.
Wait, what were you cooking again?
Pancakes and bacon and eggs.
Oh, I thought you said buffalo. I was like, dude,
no,
you guys
I was
buffalo?
like, there was like 60 buffalo going
Oh, they were alive.
like alive
Okay, got
and
it.
walking past our pickup while I was cooking some fucking pancakes and bacon. It was hella cool.
If you had a $3,000 budget and you had to go to all 50 states, but you had 60 days to do it, would you do it? And if you do it, you get $3,000.
Wait, yes, I would do all of the above.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you know
If I had a budget of X amount and I got to travel with X amount and then I got money after traveling, sure.
But you have to realize though, you're hitting like 1.2 states a day.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we did. I mean,
Other way
it took.
around.
Okay, so we did like a week and a half trip and we stayed one night, maybe two, depending on the state. So
But you're multiplying that, like you're driving a fuck ton. Like all you do is drive and you don't have an AC.
0 AC, windows down.
And
I mean, if I got paid at the end of it and I got to just like say I've been to different states, yeah, I'd probably do it.
And you're in like a heavy like Chevy Tahoe. And like the guy, like it's dude,
Shitty gas mileage, you're like momming the whole way.
the $3,000 that you get at the end of this.
So like you're telling me I'm paying out of pocket at the end and then I'm getting reimbursed by the money that they're giving me. Like so.
No. Okay, so you have a budget. So like it's not your money, it's not their money. It's
Okay.
just an imaginary budget you have. It's $3,000. But at the end of it, if you complete the 50 states in the 60 days, you get.
I either take the $3,000 loss or.
Well, the thing is, if you complete the challenge, you get $3,000. Like that's your $3,000.
I mean, I'd rather do the traveling at my leisure. I don't want to just like mob through state to state to state to state. I'd rather like stop and kind of enjoy it. I wouldn't be in it for the money. I'd rather.
No challenge then.
I think it kind of depends on who my traveling companion is.
Natty.
It's Evan.
It's Evan.
Oh, it's Natty.
Oh shit! I just realized.
It's Natty. Travel with Natty.
Bro, you guys haven't seen each other in a while. Dude, I want him to come home tonight.
Oh, Evan?
Yeah, my
Where's
Evan.
Evan
I miss
been?
Evan. Wait, you? What?
Has Evan fallen off the radar too? This lady.
Evan is big falling off the radar.
Good for him.
Well, and the thing is, he does that, but it's more intense when he has a lady. When he's by himself, he'll
Well,
definitely
you know what? I can say the same for me. So it's a good thing. I mean, if it makes the person happy, they're happy. Then more to them.
Are you guys are in a relationship right now? Like you guys are boyfriend, girlfriend?
For like a year or two.
It's
Or is that like an official term? Like when you guys go to each other's houses?
It is now. It was like a long bumpy road for about a year. And then within the last couple months we kind of realized what was going on and what we wanted.
You guys have been seeing each other a year already?
Over a year. Almost
2 years?
Almost 2 years.
What the fuck?
Crazy, right?
I feel like
Since when is Taylor a relationship gal? I know.
I feel like the shelter and dungeon like just kind of met Mitchell.
Mitchell's never met the dungeon. Mitchell's never met the dirty dungeon.
Would he survive on one of our camping trips?
No, he wouldn't.
probably wouldn't have fun.
No, he wouldn't. I mean,
It'd be stressful.
He'd sit there with his eyes like this the whole time. I don't know if he'd be okay with it.
Dude, we get fucking crazy.
We just get buck wild and crazy.
Dude, the thing is, it's okay. So I had someone come on a few days ago. Shout out Nate Mendez, dude. I fucking love this guy, bro. Like one of the most unfiltered people you ever meet. And he's talking about he's just talking about his past life and like how his brother is like like hasn't had the chance to like grow up in like education or any like sort of like rules, and he's just like a human that is uncontrollable, that just like runs around screaming all the time. That's kind of like what we do when we get out in nature at the dirty dungeon.
Exactly.
I kind of like.
Has Nate never been a part of what we?
No.
Why not? Where'd you meet this guy?
He's local legends. Like you just know Nate. Like a lot of fucking people know
Nate Mendez.
He hasn't been here the whole time. He's in Long Beach for like a few years.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's definitely like not.
I feel like Long Beach also seasons you to be like a public figure when it comes to like a not necessarily the party scene but an active scene.
Yeah, it's probably crazy as fuck growing up down there. Huh?
I think so. Anywhere in Los Angeles has to have that kind of vibe, you know?
You see a lot of fucking violence.
Ouch. Ouch. I don't think so much Long Beach is like more like Orange County, not necessarily Orange County, but more Los Angeles, you know? I feel like Long Beach and some parts of Orange County are completely separate. Like I've met people from Orange County that get very upset with me when I associate them with LA.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
And Orange County is like a little norther of LA, right?
I think it's more southern. It's like I think I'm not very geographically inclined, but I think Long Beach is lower than Los Angeles. Los Angeles is more like.
It's like southwest of LA.
There we go.
Dude, the thing is, Jake's the fucking boy. Dude, he will split California into 16ths, 24ths, and 32nds.
Here to save the day.
Dude, Jake is funny. Dude, I feel like Jake would go off on like a geographical test.
You think so?
Yeah.
As long as it's California.
Dude, the thing is, you have to be part. Okay, like by the end of this year, my goal is to have a tournament competition where the winners aren't getting like $10 or like $50, but like I don't know what my budget would be on it, but like at least like a couple hundred. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of fucking shit to ask you, unfortunately.
How many questions could have been asked?
Dude, okay, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's talk about how you met our squad. You were still living in A-Town. You met Orion first.
Yeah, I was.
Dude, you know Orion's in town right now?
Is he really?
Yeah, no. For 6 weeks, he just got here this week.
Oh,
we all have to hang out. Yeah.
How fun! So I met Orion. I was hanging out with him the first summer that I got here. So it was summer 2018. I can't fucking.
Not 2018.
Had to have been 2019.
Like
then.
No, not 2019. That was the last summer, bro. No, like 2017. 2017.
Something really early.
I was living in Morro
because
Bay.
I was kicking it with him for a whole summer, and I met you guys that whole summer. I met you, I met Evan, I met Squiddy, I met all these people at a specific house. I met him and I brought Shiloh with me.
Shane. In Los Osos.
Oh.
And you peed in the bed.
No, that was a different night.
That was the same night that I met you. That was the night that I met you.
That I peed in the bed?
You peed in the bed with Shiloh.
No, Taylor, I promise you, because I know that story better than you do. That was a completely different night.
When was the night that I met you then?
It was before Shane's house. I want to say it was like at Orion's in Morro Bay or some shit.
Okay, the only night that I really remember, because I remember the morning after when Shiloh and I were both going home, and I remember Shane's house specifically, all sitting in their bedroom, we're like, this is what we're gonna do, and everybody was down except for a handful, and I was like...
No, it was one person. It was you.
It was me.
It was
I was like,
you,
I'm
bro.
not down.
Okay.
Everybody wanted to have a lot of fun. I was like,
You did not want to have a lot of fun.
I did not want to have a lot of fun. I was like, I got scared. I was like, nope, this isn't gonna happen.
Dude, that week where Shane had people over like 4 nights in a row, and shout out Shane for that, but like that was a fucking crazy week.
That was...
Dude, we were like 19, 20.
We were so
19,
little.
Dude, we were 19.
We were 19.
So young.
I think I was 18.
Probably. Wait, when's your birthday?
September 20th. I just turned
99?
22. 98.
Oh, yeah.
I was 18.
Oh, you were, because it was in the summer. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
We're all 19. Dude, that was a really, Shane's wifed up right now.
Really?
He's dating a girl that plays video games.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know a lot about Shane, but from when I've met him, he's always been very friendly and very cool. He seems like a solid person in your friend group. He's always been very welcoming to me. You know what I mean? But I don't know about his love life or anything like that. But if he's involved with someone that treats him well, that's all that matters.
It's kind of a big deal when girls play video games.
Is it?
Yeah, but I don't mean just picks up a controller once every 10 months. I mean like
that's like into it.
Like plays weekly.
Because that's like a dude thing.
Why do you think it is a dude thing? Do you think it's literally like a physiological?
I don't know. I think that's not that it should be, but I think dudes definitely more gravitate towards the video game thing. I've just never been introduced to it or involved in it. I was grown up in an environment where my dad's like, get the fuck outside and come back in when it's dark. Like, I don't want to see you till dark. Go scrape your knees, go climb trees, go ride a bike, go do something until it's dark and come back before dinner. I wasn't allowed to be inside, nowhere near technology. I don't know. I grew up in I grew up as a tomboy for sure.
You have like a hat on and shit?
I did not wear a dress until I was 14 years old. Not even once.
Oh, you're saying babies start wearing dresses?
I mean, I guess, but like I didn't do it. I didn't do the chick thing or anything to do with that until I didn't wear makeup until I was probably 17. I was raised by my dad. That's kind of what happens, you know?
Would you say you're into like the movie scene at all? Like, do you enjoy sitting down and watching movies?
If I'm watching a movie with someone, I binge watch TV shows by myself because I have a very short attention span. But if I'm watching a movie with another person and I can bullshit with them or talk about the movie or something, I'm more in tune if I'm watching it with someone. Otherwise, I stick to TV shows because I am not entertained otherwise. I don't know.
Didn't you say you tried watching Game of Thrones?
I made it about 4 seasons in.
No, you did not make it 4 seasons in.
I swear to God, no. I made it 4 seasons in and then I stopped. I thought
you watched one episode.
No. I actually was dedicated and I watched a lot, but I can only like the movie. Okay, but hang on. This is what I compare it to. Have you seen the movie Aragon?
You did not watch Game of Thrones.
I did.
You think you did, but you were on your phone half the time.
I fucking watched it.
I know anybody.
Blazer, I watched the show.
Bro, do you want me to question you right now with questions?
I mean, okay. it was like maybe 8 months ago, so I'm probably gonna be burnt. But I did watch. I watched it. I fucking watched it.
Anybody that makes
there was a midget that got shot in the back, like in the back.
Anybody that watches up to season 4 would finish it.
I can only do Dungeons and Dragons for so long. Like I'm into like the mystical part of it. Like it's cool, but it only holds. I like real life. I don't know.
Who's your favorite character?
The midget.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Dude, you did not watch the show at all. I watched it. You did not know his fucking name.
Okay. If you watch a show, I
haven't watched it in like a long time.
I don't pay attention to characters' names, but I can recognize individual characters. Like if you asked me about like if you gave me a reference and you say, okay, this person did this, I would recognize them. I just don't remember names. Me and names don't get along. Like I promise you I watched 4 seasons and then I honestly, not because I was bored, I just stopped watching it. I just started another show. I literally just started like another reality TV show and I just forgot to get back into it because when I started like a season,
what happened at
I'll
the
watch
end of
it.
Season 1?
Really?
Season 1, no, a big thing happens and there was a crowd of people that watched somebody get executed who got executed. Season
the
1,
king, the little girl's dad. there's a daughter, and I don't know if there's a daughter, an older son that also reigns like this, or is taking care of something outside of the castle or whatever, and the dad got killed, and the whole family didn't know about it until way later.
Okay.
The dad was executed. So like I did pay attention, I just don't know names.
What happens at...
I feel like I'm on Quizlet. Okay.
What happened when there was... I want to say it was season 2. There was a wedding. They called it the Red Wedding. Who died in it? And like.
Okay, they all got shot by bow and arrows. They were all brought into like, it looked like a church or like a big hall, and like it was a setup, and everybody got fucking shot, including the son of the dad who was killed.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know names, but like I'm with it. I know what happened.
In season 4, did you watch all the way through the end of season 4?
I think so.
Okay, I'll stop with the.
I was like, I think so. But like, I did watch it. Is that proof enough?
Okay.
Is that proof enough?
Yeah.
I did watch it. The last I saw, Khaleesi had 2 big fat dragons. One of them was like running off, and like she couldn't control it or whatever. And then I don't know. It was like burning. It was killing sheep and doing this and that. I don't know. I stopped watching it though because I just couldn't. I couldn't get back into it.
Were you into Rick and Morty?
I've only watched a couple of episodes from other friends.
When it's just literally just on.
Yeah, when it's on. Like I pay attention to it, but like I never got into it personally.
Do you find it kind of weird that... Actually, no, this is a bad question for you because you've only worked in the restaurant job. But like, I'll just say it anyway. But like, each month I pay more in taxes than rent, which is kind of weird. That's kind of ridiculous almost.
Dude, I don't even talk about money right now when it comes to rent. Okay, right when the first wave of COVID hit, when everything closed, when everything fucking closed, my rent went up $300.
Dang.
Because my landlord decided not to go through like them personally. They wanted to go through a realtor company, and they have like, I don't know, they had a whole process through it, and my rent went up so much at the worst time, and it hit me super hard.
$300 extra. That's like...
I mean, between 3 of my roommates, but I already paid X amount. Living in SLO.
Okay.
And then honestly, it was more than 300 because we all raised our rent according to our rooms and what the facilities that we had. Like
you have facilities in yours?
Like my 2. Okay, so like one of my roommates has a big bedroom with a balcony. I have the smallest room. And then the master bedroom has a huge room, balcony, their own bathroom, 2 sinks, walk-in closet, this and that. So like we all raised our rent accordingly.
So you had the cheapest one?
Absolutely. I was like, I'm not gonna pay the same amount as all you motherfuckers. No way, dude. No way.
Did they agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They weren't even gonna raise my rent, and I was like, okay, well that's not fair, and you guys are gonna end up resenting me if I don't pay. Anyways, we worked it out and it's okay now, but it sucked at the time. It sucked at the time because it was kind of like a really, 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 really terrible time for anyone to raise rent, and it just kind of was thrown at us, and all of us were hitting like the oh shit, like what do we do now?
That's good you get along with them because I remember you do not like girls.
No.
Like you don't get along with girls.
I try my absolute hardest. I feel like I'm really nice. I feel like I'm nice and I feel like I'm approachable, but I think I just have a not really nice face or something.
Dude, when I went peeing there, I was looking at myself in the mirror. Dude, I look like a crackhead.
You just have
I literally look
really
like a crackhead. Like my hair right now.
You're making me think twice. I get rosy when I drink rosé.
You guys are both getting rosy.
Dude, I know the best fucking thing to ask you right now.
Okay, tell me, lay it on me.
Dude, you have gotten a fuck ton of tickets.
Oh no!
Dude, you are such a lawbreaker, unabiding
That's the crash my
citizen,
brother and I got into.
Okay.
which is good.
Okay, should I start with one of my favorite times getting pulled over?
Yeah.
Been pulled over too
Dude,
many
dozens.
times.
I bet you dozens.
Way too many times, but my favorite time was Halloween. It had to have been 2019. I was with Lauren. I was dressed as an inmate.
Didn't really get that.
We were at this house for Sarah's party.
2018.
It was 2018. Okay, 2018. So we were on our way here. And Lauren and I were partying somewhere in Arroyo Grande. She was dressed as a slutty cop and I was dressed as an inmate. And we were handcuffed together. This hand and her left hand, right? So I'm driving a stick because like I had this piece of shit Acura Integra at the time. And we were mobbing. I had no speedometer. My dash lights didn't light up. They didn't work. So I was just mobbing, right? Trying to get here. And I get pulled over. And I'm handcuffed to this slutty cop. And I'm dressed as an inmate. And I have no keys to unlock. I have no keys to unlock us. And he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, yeah. I was probably speeding. I drive a manual, this, that, whatever. Like, I don't have dash lights. They went out, like, within the last 3 to 4 days. I just haven't taken the time to fix them. This, that, whatever. I bought it that way. And I'd been driving it for about 4 months that way.
But you didn't tell him it was 4
I didn't
months.
tell him this. And he's like, okay, well, when he first pulled us over, he saw us dressed up. And he's like, are you on your way to a party or from a party? I said, we're on our way to a party. And this guy we had in the back seat, we brought him from this party. And he's like, he's sitting in the back seat. As soon as the cop walks away, he's like, I have a warrant. Oh my God, I'm gonna get arrested. And I was like, how about you shut your fucking mouth? I'm not trying to get in trouble for this. Like, he's like, you don't understand. Like, I have a felony. I have all these things. And I'm like, oh, can you just be quiet, please? Just, no one's asking you any questions. Like, let me talk my way out of this. He asked me and Lauren to get out of the car. And I was like, what for? Because he didn't suspect we were drunk or anything like that. And I was like, we're going to a party. This is what we're doing, whatever. Like, I handled it accordingly and it was fine. We ended up not getting out of the car and he let us go. Thank God, because I was absolutely belligerent.
Dude.
These are things that I don't do anymore.
Jeez, bro.
But I tell you what, that was one of a couple reality calls that I've had. and the first one involved Quinn, and I don't know if I dropped Quinn off at a Denny's, then I got pulled over 5 seconds later.
I miss Quinn.
I miss Quinn.
I miss Quinn.
Honestly, I think we should invite Quinn back.
I think he left us, so the invite's always there.
Like he did leave our friend group. I mean, like, we can be like, hey,
come back. Like, he was
there's been multiple opportunities where we've been like, hey, come
Dude,
kick
I've
it,
invited him to a ton
and he
of
just
shit.
doesn't.
really?
He
Yeah.
just doesn't.
But
Like
you'd be
dozens.
like, oh no, I can't because Isabella.
Or like, no, because
just,
I
like,
live so
doesn't-
far
doesn't
away.
open it-
Or like,
doesn't
I don't
open it for like
just-
2 weeks.
Yeah. Quinn is his own individual.
Really sad. He was the chillest. That's how I met everybody. To be
That was
honest.
one of my first friends in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
I met him
Like,
over
ice
Ben and
cream.
Jerry's ice cream outside of CVS downtown San Luis Obispo.
When? A while back?
Like,
You
literally.
knew him, that is right, you knew him
I
before the
knew
shelter.
him. I knew him way before anything. So I met Quinn
Really sad.
maybe a couple weeks after I moved to SLO. I was walking out of CVS. I bought my own shit, and I saw him sitting there eating Ben and Jerry's, and I was like, "Do they sell Ben and Jerry's here?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's like you buy 2, you get 1 50% off. You want to buy some?" And I was like, yeah, I want some ice cream. So we both went back inside. He bought another tub and I bought one for 50% off. And then he's like, what are you doing the rest of the day? And I brought him to one of my homies' house, which was Blake. And Blake's also been a tight homie. We've just kind of like gravitated other directions. He still lives in Atascadero. He's also a really cool dude. But I did meet Quinn over Ben & Jerry's. He was one of the first people I ever met here. So when I saw him reappear in a Snapchat with Sid, I was like, where did you find Quinn?
Yeah.
Like, where did he come from? How did you meet him? And then I saw him at your house with a huge group of friends and I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
That is weird.
Super crazy,
shit.
right? And like we hung out for a little while and then we kind of like drifted and then I was gravitated toward Quinn when he was hanging out with your crowd. You know what I mean?
So hold on, you met him. You guys were out at Ben & Jerry's.
We
ice
were at CVS.
Oh, okay.
Downtown, right across from 7-Eleven.
Downtown SLO.
Downtown SLO.
Who bought the ice cream first? Quinn did, and was.
He bought
walking
the
out?
ice cream. I was already inside, and I walk out, and I saw him eating ice cream.
He already
and he
bought it
said,
and was
yeah,
sitting
he was
down
eating ice cream
on the
outside
curb.
of the door, and I like literally just eating the ice cream. And so I walk out, and he's there, and I was like, dude, they have Ben & Jerry's, and he's like, yeah. Of course they have Ben & Jerry's. So we both went back inside, bought Ben & Jerry's, and then we had an adventure of our own with my friends at the time. And we became friends ever since then over Ben & Jerry's.
Okay. Dude, Quinn would be a great person to have on here.
You should try to connect with him and do that. He would be a
Quinn on the podcast would actually be crazy. Bro. The thing is, he should do. He should just talk, like at his house into a camera phone.
He could have his own podcast.
Literally.
He literally
without
could just
guests,
talk and people would listen.
Guests. I would fucking listen.
I would listen. I would totally listen.
Bro, big shout out to you, Taylor. You had to come on. Thank you for coming on. And honestly, you are the you're the start of a new season because I got a new backdrop, and you're the perfect person to start off season 3. So let's fucking go.
Season 3. I have a lot of catching up to do.
The thing is, each season in each episode, it doesn't go in chronological order.
Right.
It just who knows?
It's
tomorrow can be season 1 again. You just gotta trust the process.
Well, you know, doggy, I hope to be back.
Yeah. No, we're gonna set that collab up with you and Dre. So yeah, thank you.